Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to be trying out some art supplies sent to me by Ohuhu, and I was really excited to work with them because I've actually used their markers in the past. I used their water-based markers and I recommended them a lot for just like adding color to your sketches because they don't bleed through the paper, and now I have so many more colors to try out. I'm also going to be doing a sketchbook session, so like a long form drawing session if you want to see me chat and draw and fill a page in my sketchbook. This video is for you. So thanks so much for watching, and let's get into the video. We have these marker pads. And they just seemed like very nice, so I was like, I really want to try your marker pads when they reached out to me. By the way, this video is sponsored by Ohuhu, but everything will be my own opinion. So I was most excited about their mixed media paper, but there's also a marker pad where I can like see how the markers hold up. And we also have this giant thing of markers. Comes in a very nice case. You can even put things in the front. Oh, look at that. So I specifically wanted to try their water-based markers, which are these, because they don't bleed through paper. Alcohol markers do bleed through pages, but water-based do not, and I like to use water-based markers in my sketchbook as like a quick way to put down some color without ruining the sketch on the other side. And oh my goodness, there's so many colors. I'm actually really excited about these because I actually have their other set that I've been using for years and they've held up really well. I've been using this one that comes with 60 colors, and I just found that like it wasn't really enough, but now there's 120, and it even comes with replaceable nibs. So if you wear out any of the nibs, you can replace it. I had no idea it would come with this. It's actually so cool. And color swatches, are you kidding me? This is so cool. Oh, 160, not 120. Then we have some alcohol markers. It has a little handle. What a cute little bag. I actually kind of stopped using alcohol markers. I actually sold all my Copic markers and all my like any alcohol marker that I had because I decided I don't like using them anymore. But this should still be fun to try. Just at least to try another brand. Ooh, I'll take that out. What is this? If you're coloring with thin paper, please put your pad between your coloring sheets to prevent any bleed through. So it comes with a little protective sleeve to protect your sketchbook pages so that they don't bleed through other sides. It's actually pretty cool. Oh, this one comes with swatches too. Very nice. These colors look really pretty. I think it's gonna be pretty fun trying to make some art out of alcohol markers because I haven't done it in so long. And I have no idea how my style is going to translate into this medium anymore because it's been so long. I had high hopes that the mixed media one could be a future sketchbook of mine. Ooh, the marker pad also comes with a sheet to prevent bleed through. I think that's really cool that they would include that. Nice thick elastic, feels very good quality to me. Oh, there's a ribbon too. That's pretty cool. This is the one that I think could be a good sketchbook for me, but the other one will probably be a sketchbook too. Let's see how this... Okay, so it kind of feels like the marker pad, but it's a little bit thicker. Not thicker, it's more textured. The pages aren't that thick. Usually I go for thicker pages in my sketchbook, but it might be totally fine. And this one also comes with a protective sheet. So I'm very excited to try these out. I'm gonna do some drawings in the books they provided, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun and make some art. I think what I'm gonna do is actually draw because I don't really want to spend like an hour color swatching. Now we are going to draw. It feels good to be doing a video like this because I've been doing more like studio videos lately because I haven't really had the time to sit down and film a drawing video, but Feels good to be doing this again. Actually, I posted something on Instagram a while ago asking for drawing ideas, so let's look at that. I like to do those every once in a while, just to like see what you want me to draw. Someone said a rat with a hat. I think that's a pretty good idea. I actually used to have 2 pet rats when I was a kid. They're really sweet pets. If you want like a rodent pet, I would recommend rats. Make sure you get 2 of them because I think they like company. I also haven't drawn today yet, so this might be rough. It's kind of like when you exercise, you have to stretch first. You kind of need to like draw a little bit before you can expect to draw nice things. So this rat will be wearing a hat. Maybe I should use some markers. I liked 103 because it was kind of light. Where did it go? Here it is. The only thing about these markers is that the lid caps don't really, they're not accurate to what color is actually in what actual color is going to come out. But this is a pretty nice color for a water-based marker because it's really light. Like, you usually don't find water-based markers that are this light. I just kind of fill areas. I really like how these markers have like double ends. It just makes it nice for adding details. Okay, I'm starting to feel a bit more warmed up now. I also hurt my neck the other day. Do you ever just wake up from sleeping and you can't move your neck one direction? That happened to me. And it's like day 4 or 5 and it still hurts, but it's a lot better. It just makes sitting and looking down at something a little bit difficult. But I'll survive. Should I use blue on this one as well? Probably. Let's give him a blue hat too. And see what I mean about these markers? They do not bleed through to the other side because they're water-based, and that's why I love water-based. They're not really like, I don't really use them to make like full illustrations, but I use them to doodle and sketch, and they are perfect for that purpose. Sometimes I like to purposely go like different directions. Kind of messed up the leg here. Maybe I should do the old sticky note trick. There is loud noise outside. I'm just trying to film. It appears someone is operating a wood chipper and cutting down a tree, but I close my door and it's a little bit quieter, but it is still really loud. this one because it's just like a nice light color and it'll tie everything together. I like this color, and it looks good with the pink too because they're like complementary. I want to try to add some... Where's my brown? Where did it go? I don't know where the brown went. The paper's pretty saturated right now, so it's kind of hard to add detailed lines. This guy doesn't have a hat, but I think it's fine. I still want to keep drawing rats, so let's continue this. I find their little paws kind of hard to draw sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna look back at Instagram to see what people told me to draw. Someone said a Great Dane. I can draw one of those. I like the Great Danes that look like Oreo ice cream or like cookies and cream. It's kind of, I don't know if this looks like a Great Dane, to be honest, but I'm just gonna go with it. I accidentally just made the nose too curved, but maybe it's just extra stylized. I kind of messed up the shape of the head. It's fine, I guess. I've been drawing so much digital that I almost just tried to zoom out. That doesn't make sense. I actually really like these markers. Like, the only complaint is the fact that the cap colors don't match the marker color. But other than that, I think they're really great for sketching and just like coloring and stuff. They're still cutting trees outside and I can still hear the wood chipper, but we're just gonna keep drawing and hope that it's not too loud. It's so hard to draw all their like neck folds. Okay, it's actually getting pretty loud. I try to like make the spots fit like the composition, I guess. Like, I don't do it the same as like the reference photo. I'll like change it up so that it like helps make the drawing more readable. I like to layer the marker colors because it kind of helps pull everything together, and if I'm doing one spread, I like to use the same colors from different sketches within other sketches so that it kind of helps tie everything together. And you can actually like sort of blend these colors, kind of like how you see what I'm doing. Like, you can kind of use them like watercolor, water markers. I like putting little tiny lines for like shading and hatching. It just kind of adds a nice texture. I don't know if I went overboard with that sketch, but it's fine. Where's the blue? I keep losing the colors that I'm using. There it is. Maybe I need a different color for the background of this. Maybe I'll grab like This is number 5. Let's see what it looks like. That's actually pretty nice. I'm gonna use it. But I'm trying not to let it touch the other colors because then it will smear. Okay, before I use up all of my drawing energy, I would like to try out the alcohol-based markers in their marker pad. Because this sketchbook is made for mixed media. It's not really made for markers, the other one is. But I wanted to use it anyway because I kind of like textured paper better, and I plan for this one to be a future sketchbook that I use. The other one probably will be too, honestly. I'll probably end up using them both as a future sketchbook, but I want to try out the alcohol markers. Now this is a lot smoother. I might even try it with both markers actually, just to see how this compares to the other paper. Now I have the alcohol markers here. It might be nice to actually swatch these, but I don't know where the swatch paper went. Oh, I found it. Maybe I'll draw my little my little bird that I've been drawing, the one that's like, well, I'm just gonna draw a bird. Ooh, this paper's a lot smoother. Let's give him a little backpack. I haven't used alcohol markers in so long. Oh, you can't see a thing, can you? And the difference between alcohol markers and regular markers is alcohol markers are smoother and easier to blend. So they have like a more controlled finish. It's way easier to have the texture that you want. Yeah, see how the caps are so light and the color is like kind of dark? That's the thing about markers. That seems to be the case with like certain marker brands don't have light color options. At least not in this set. I'm not seeing any, but there might be. Because all the colors are like way darker than I'm expecting them to be. Because I'm used to Copics where like the caps match the color. Yeah, I definitely messed this up. Maybe I can fix it with some, I'm gonna use water-based for the line work, which might be weird because it's like water-based on top of alcohol markers, but these have finer lines so I can do details. Like, alcohol markers are good if you want smoother colors and more control, but honestly my art isn't really like that. My art's not very like smooth, and also this drawing is really bad. So let's do something different. I actually started off my YouTube channel using Copic markers, which are alcohol-based markers like these, and if you go back to my first videos, you'll see the kind of art I used to make, and I used to use these all the time, but I've migrated away from them because I like a looser, I just don't really like using markers anymore, except for water-based ones for sketching, like I mentioned many times in this video. Red. R10 pastel pink. PB9 cloud blue. Oh, that's a nice blue. The colorless blender if you're into that sort of thing. I also noticed the brush tips for the black and the color. The black and the lighter green, lighter gray are different. I actually kind of prefer the black one because it's like more pointed and stiffer. Put a sticky note on top of it. This actually gives me an idea to draw some fruit, so let's do that. All the reds are so dark. I mean, it's kind of fun to do like minimal art like this, but it's really not my style. And you can definitely, you don't have to draw like this when you're using alcohol markers. It's just how I am choosing to do it in this moment because I don't really know how to make it work with my style. Not make the whole thing red, but like some of it, like red parts. Now I'm gonna take some of my water-based markers to do some outlining. It'd be cool to have an apple with like the eye hole had a little worm coming out of it. I don't know, I'm so out of practice with alcohol markers that I don't even really know what to do. What if I did little cherries? I'm trying to like simplify my art for this. There's just like no color that is light enough. It's just like super dark. And I don't color the whole thing in, you know? Just like that. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. Maybe I'll do a blueberry. A little sleepy blueberry. Kind of want to do pastel blue. PB7. Let's do one more cute fruit and then I'll probably call it a day. Let's do a little strawberry. These kind of markers are just so much more in my comfort zone. But I will add some alcohol markers to it because it's nice and smooth. I kind of like that. I think that's way better than the apple and the first bird I tried to draw. I just want to cover up the apple too. I just want to cover everything I've done. I had a lot of fun trying these markers and the sketchbooks in terms of like being sketchbooks. I think they're fine, like especially this one is fine for a marker pad sketchbook, but I don't know if I'd recommend it for like, you know, like final marker illustrations because there is a lot of bleeding, like a lot of like feathering, but I don't know if that's just like the nature of the markers. But I think the sketchbooks are pretty good. My only complaint with the mixed media one is that the tooth of the paper doesn't really pick up pencil crayon as well as I would like it to. But it's still fine and it's sturdily built and it seems like there's a lot of pages in both of them, so I'll definitely be using these as some future sketchbooks. And I'm really excited about all the water-based markers that I now have and all the colors I can now sketch with, because I've been using Ohuhu markers. Like I've been using like this brand of marker in my sketchbook for years, and now I finally have like an expanded collection, so I can definitely vouch for these. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much to Ohuhu for sending these to me and sponsoring this video. It was really great to work with a company that I already use and already really like. And I hope you enjoyed seeing all the little drawings I did. It was definitely a lot of fun, and I will see you in my next video.